Our 3-day getaway in the mountains of North Carolina started off when Braids and I got off work that Friday afternoon. I had dressed up as Abraham Lincoln that day for our Gettysburg Address memorization test, and when the day was done, we met at TechniQuest to drop off Ellie, our Elantra. And then Braids and I drove to her favorite Mediterranean restaurant, Sassoul. We filled up on food and then drove the rest of the 4-hour drive to Boone, North Carolina. I was tired after a long school week. The accommodations at the Level House were charming and unique. It was built in 1875 by one of Boone's leading politicians. You can learn more about him in our other video. They made accessible the free tea, coffee, and homemade baked goods in the common area, available 24 hours a day. We were impressed that the house is both up to date and ecologically friendly. So all their electricity comes from solar power and is stored in batteries. Their extra power even goes back to the regular grid. That blew my mind. They use no plastics. Their insulation is rock wool rather than fiberglass, which Braids had to say did a great job retaining heat. It was 20 degrees outside, and it dampened noise. The food is organic, and most of the produce and meat is local. We had access to the common fridge and freezer, microwave, games, even plates and silverware. Our room felt like a cozy oasis. The large shower head was a luxury. Braids' favorite part was the breakfasts. Besides the fancy food they served, Cap enjoyed the location, a muddy hill to climb out back, and a nice stroll to downtown Boone to dine at night. Total price for the 3-day stay, just under $600. We also included a $20 tip at the end for their friendly and immediate help when I clogged the plumbing on Sunday. They got the toilet fixed like professionals faster than you could say Jack Robinson. I got up in the mornings each day and worked in the common area until Braids woke up. The breakfasts were homemade and unbelievably scrumptious. It was different each day. I supplemented mine with the sweet potato walnut pie, chocolate chip muffins, peanut butter, yogurt, and grapes I brought from home. Our first morning, Saturday, January 17th, we got to enjoy the snowy landscape around Level House in the daylight, and then we drove to Elk Knob. Man, we dressed up to the max in our cold weather gear. I'm talking long johns, mittens, scarves, darn tough socks, and padded boots. But even though it was covered in snow, the hike uphill helped us to burn those breakfast calories so well that we took off gloves and headgear and outer layers. Typical. Braids got some great photo ops of the snowy landscape. I can't help but think about the lyrics to Don McLean's song, Vincent.
Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land.
Elk Knob is over a mile above sea level. Unfortunately, there was no view on the north or south side whatsoever. So Braids took some photos and I got some footage of the frosted scenery. And then we turned around and walked the 1.9 miles back down. I was so warm I took off my cap, which caused snow to stick to my hair, which then froze. That photographer wife of mine got some shots of her husband along the way. What's she gonna do with me? Braids told me that with my half beard, if I had a conical cap, I'd look like a gnome. Look at this. Just look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. My wife says my hair looks cool. She must be referring to my Abraham Lincoln beard, which I'm going to shave later on.
Yes, please. No, I was talking about that actually.
Yeah, is this fun being around in the snow, Braids? Yeah. Well, part of you comes alive around this precipitation.
Yes.
We made it back to the Level House in time for lunch, cookies, and a Sabbath rest. And then we walked out the door and started walking up the elevation behind the house. Notice the difference in snow by midday. This is because of the difference in elevation. Contrast the town of Boone with Elk Knob. There was no snow here, just mud that covered our boots, a small waterfall or creek, and plenty of deer sightings. Pretty soon we ran out of trail, so we made our own, just going straight up. Braids hurt her palm as we hiked on all fours in some parts. When we reached the hill's zenith, we walked down the street all the way back to the Lovell house. By that point, it was warm enough to be walking in our t-shirts. See the message on the stone? Some guy named JBE carved that ostensibly in 1910. We had a chance to relax and read a little. By then, sundown was coming, so we headed to downtown Boone for dinner. We walked to Wildcraft Eatery. After some good food, nachos and a burger, what better way to finish the meal than with some delicacies from Venture Chocolate and Wine Bar nearby? I found a book there that reminded me of my friend Uday. We decided against any more dessert, but we still took a look inside the App Cookie Company on our walk back. By Sunday, we had the pattern down. I woke up, worked in the lobby for an hour till Braids woke, we had another great breakfast, and then we're off to our next adventure. The day before, with all that walking, Braids did quite a number on her legs, so we made an effort not to exacerbate her shin splints by walking less. Fortunately for her shins, almost every place we intended to visit today was closed. We wanted to see Grandfather Mountain for the famous mile-high bridge, but the snow and wind that morning meant it was closed. Here's an interesting tidbit. On the sign, we read the boast, Carolina's top scenic attraction. That may have been true when the sign was created in the 1950s, but is it still true today? Nope. Grandfather Mountain's website now claims it has one of the top scenic attractions, but that can be a little misleading. Since WRAL's 2018 list of most visited NC attractions, scenic or urban in the state, has it weighing in at number 16. I should clarify. This part of North Kakalaki is called the High Country. That includes Boone, Blowing Rock, Banner Elk, and the like. So even though it was too early for lunch, we drove to the High Country Pie Company instead in Banner Elk. This place was recommended to us by our friends Rohan and Ann Elizabeth, and man, were we grateful for their ringing endorsement. The De Silvas had also recommended the Ropes obstacle course just above the Savory Pie store. Even though we wanted to try it, we didn't, because it was closed. The company ran a roller coaster as well, but we didn't want to spend $18 a person on it, so instead, we left for another Banner Elk attraction, namely the ice cream store Be Scooped. Unfortunately, this place was a no-go because, as I'm sure you're catching on by now, despite the info on Google and the open signs on the window, it was closed. So we walked around downtown Banner Elk, checking out the wildlife, namely the bear and the elk for whom the town is named, and the local shops. We wanted to check out a book exchange. It was closed, so we talked to the nice ladies in the art gallery found in the old Banner Elk School, and they gave us the cool tourist magazine that the organization produces. They recommended we visit the Apple Hill Farm Outpost where they sell alpaca fiber, and so we did. As soon as you walk in through that door, they give you a comprehensive intro. It's called alpaca fiber, not wool. Alpaca fiber is stronger than sheep wool, it's less of an irritant, causes fewer allergies, it's softer, it's lighter, it's warmer, it's more durable, it's fire retardant, it's like cashmere, it's been called the fiber of the gods. Geez, if I were an alpaca, I'd think pretty highly of myself. We left Banner Elk to go see a museum in Blowing Rock. The Hickory Ridge History Museum always has a Daniel Boone play in the summer, but it was closed today. So we went to the High Country's most famous acronym, the BROM. It stands for Blowing Rock Arts and History Museum. Unfortunately, upon arriving, we discovered it was, closed. So after I got my picture taken with the artist standing in front of the museum, the well-named Elliot Dangerfield, we toured Blowing Rock. Now, this town is known for its titular rock, the most iconic outcropping in the state, but we didn't come for that scene-stealing promontory. What we were after were the downtown shops. There were some fun antique stores. Our destination was Blue Deer for their famous ice cream sandwiches. Braids got a drink. And then we checked out the park. I took a reading break. Next was the only museum we got to see this trip. The Blowing Rock Museum was tiny, unusual, worth noting. It was only 2 small adjoined rooms. The visuals told the history of the town in the first room. The second was a remodel of what the Blowing Rock Hotel was like a century ago. But all of it was completely unsupervised. No docent, total honor system. I was impressed. On the way back to our car, we passed some other attractions that reminded me of my friends Nathan and Bethany, Jared, Melissa, and Clint. And then we drove back to Level House, where we walked to downtown Boone's restaurants and shops. Boy, oh boy, was it cold. The wind definitely dropped the temperature and prompted us to wear our hoods, gloves, and scarves. Braids was nice to film me making a little intro for a video on Daniel Boone later for class. And we stopped by the famous Mast General Store. Man, that was a big shop. I ended up buying 2 13-cent postcards for school, but the generous cashier girls just gave them to us for free, so we donated $5 to the tip jar. We walked all the way to eat at a Thai restaurant called Saving Boone King. But wouldn't you know it, it was takeout only. You thought I was going to say closed, right? We wanted to sit down for our meal, so we took my friend Maddie's recommendation and ate at Comeback Shack instead. Always busy, using kiosks to order food. A couple of burgers later, we made it back to the Level House in time for a workout and our last night of sleep there. Monday, RDMLKJ Day. We had our last breakfast, packed, and said goodbye to the Level House. Today, we're hitting the slopes. It's beautiful weather.
I think we're headed the wrong way.
This is my first time ever skiing in my life. That's what it looks like. Yeah, somehow I had gone 46 years without once skiing down a slope. Today, Braids remedied that. Braids hadn't skied in 22 years. So we're inside the ski center right now, and the temperature outside is 20 degrees without wind factor. Braids went to go see the guest services, and the woman was like, yeah, you're gonna need to get a locker. One small one holds only like 2 shoes. So these are like the little upcharges after already spending more than $200 on my first skiing experience. And also, the woman looked over and said, like, you're gonna get warmer clothes, right? And goggles, right? And Braid's like, no, we'll try it, given what we're wearing right now, which is the warmest clothes we've got. And the woman's like, okay, see you in a little while. Here we go.
Side.
Okay. Yep.
And then you want your sock on all the way. And I think you're gonna want your base layer. You don't want that to get in the boot, I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But I don't all remember. So, and then it's like rollerblades.
These are size 14s. 14s. Something RoboCop would wear. You're getting size 14 skis for me. Braids got herself some ski poles. Wow, there are a lot of them. But me, I'm going to go without, because ski poles are recommended only for people who have done it more than once at this Appalachian ski resort. Yeah, that lasted all of 5 minutes. Believe me, if you're a first-time skier, then unless you've done some snowboarding, you need some ski poles. Despite my best efforts, Braids decided to get me these two. Because dang, I was slipping and sliding like a foal just after birth. Braids is teaching me how to put the ski boots into the skis.
Line up your little heel.
Just like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Here we are. These slopes were founded in 1962, and we're about to go up that mountainside. Okay, not that one. That's Big Apple. What I started on was for little itty bitty beginners. Alright, I've almost cleared my first hurdle, which is the line, waiting for the conveyor belt. Seems I was slipping and sliding. No kidding. First, you must weave in and out of the line, twisting and turning very slowly. Then you have to survive the brutal conveyor belt. Finally, my maiden voyage. Braids was a good teacher.
Right, Cap.
Here it goes. my maiden voyage.
Yeah. Just go slow and don't hit any little kids. You'll be good.
Well, it's not like fifth run.
Okay, snowplow, snowplow. Where are you going? Oh no. Oh dear.
break at the bottom. I forgot to tell him to break at the bottom. Oh, there you go. Oh. Oh no.
In contrast to all my fumblings and bumblings as a rank novice, Braids was composed, elegant, and the soul of grace. She only fell 3 times and never on the slopes. Twice was on the conveyor belt, which nobody saw, so it basically never happened. The other being on the ski lift, and that was mostly my fault. Seeing as this was her first time in skis in over 20 years, I was mighty impressed. This is Braids' first time in 20 years skiing down a slope. Graceful as a Japanese snow fairy. Wow, Braids.
I forgot to tell you the snowplow at the bottom. Actually, the video is me saying, oh no, I forgot to tell him to brake at the bottom.
On the first decline, which Braids called the bunny slope, but what is called the Appletizer at Appalachian Ski Mountain, I learned how to brake. I kept losing my balance and opting to fall backward rather than plow into some helpless little kid. Once I learned my first lessons from Braids on how to turn, though, I graduated to the second slope, the Apple Strudel. Finally, we get to Braids and my first ski lift. So yeah, we're just a couple of pros just going up on this ski lift. This is what it looks like from the top.
Yeah, this is a short lift, so
Don't get too comfortable, yeah.
Do you want to take a picture?
Sure. That's about a 15-foot drop down there. Not that you can tell from these pictures. This is my wife. All right, so Braids has decided to do ski slope number 3, a higher gradient than what we've been doing several times on the first of the chairlifts. And then I'm gonna go back over here to these bunny hill so I can practice my turns because I have hit the snow on my back every single time. So practice makes better. I must have fallen over 10 times before I finally cleared that course without incident. I kept crossing the streams or overlapping the edges of my skis and tripping, or overcompensating on my turns and sliding backwards faster and faster before falling. But at long last, I got it. And that is what enabled me to follow Braids onto the third and final slope for me, the lower Apple.
I love you too.
Take 2.
Alright, I'm gonna speed up here. Lose it, Cap. Oh, good job. All right, break some more.
Well, I finally graduated, and now I'm able to try my 3rd different run. Here are the different types up here. Braids has been trying them out. Which one was your favorite, Braids?
Orchard run.
Okay, I'll let you know if I survive. Good point, Braids. On this one, gravity kept doing me in when I'd spin around, skiing backwards until I'd fall over, or as speed would pick up, I'd lose balance, falling forward, losing a ski, a pole, or both skis. I was initially alarmed at the temperatures starting off at 20 to 25 degrees, but the more we skied, the less I noticed the cold. Which brings up another note. The more you exercise, the more you ski, the more layers you have to take off. Suddenly 20 degrees doesn't feel so cold anymore. We braked a half hour for lunch. Braids got a beef hot dog and drank some water. Me, I wasn't hungry after all that snow I'd eaten. Snow and humble pie. That was my meal. Then we were ready to hit the snow again.
This, kids, is how snow is made. Those are the courses we did not go on.
Well, I never skied down them, but Braids sure did. Her favorite course was Orchard Run. This long slope I only got to see the end of because I got to film my graceful snowbird of a wife finish it here.
Next up, for your viewing pleasure, Braids is going to come down the apple orchard behind me. In there. Sure can.
That was fun. That was challenging.
Was it? Did you fall once?
No.
Anytime you were scared?
It's going faster. Yeah, it was alright.
There's proof of Braids' humanity. Right
That
there.
was really fun. I want to do that again.
Okay.
But that's how I'm done.
Oh,
My shins hurt.
I understand.
When Braids headed indoors for the day, I had been falling down Lower Apple that third slope every single time for the last hour.
So this is Lower Apple. This is where I've continually fallen on my face or backside over and over again, sometimes slid upside down for 20 yards. Try it this time, see if this time I can do it without falling. Okay, so no, I definitely ate it that time again. It seems like the same part of the slope. I keep on losing a ski or both. But the plus side is that there's so many good Samaritans who stop and hand me my ski and usually my poles and say, "Is there anything I can do to help?" And I say, "No, I'm used to this by now." But until I can conquer this third slope, I'm in it for the long haul.
So I made it my goal to finish skiing down that slope at least twice without going horizontal.
All right, I gotta take my successes where I can. First time I made it all the way down the slope before crashing and losing my ski. Time after that, I didn't lose the ski. I was able to slide down upside, like backward, and then on my like crab walk style. But my skis did not come off. So maybe this time will be the one.
25 minutes later.
Guys, I did it. Trick was mind the curves, be slow. When you get down to the end, spread your legs as far apart as possible. Curve the ski blades together. That worked. I wasn't able to repeat it the second time around, so I went back to my second slope, and I succeeded in getting through that, which is a confidence booster, and now I'm going to try this again.
Would you believe that on my last run, Braids happened to come outside at just the right time and film me from afar, and I cleared it without losing a ski, a pole, or face planting. Here's my victory pose. I felt like I'd gotten the Olympic gold. We had gotten to the slopes by 11:20 that day, and I finally turned in my equipment by 16:30 hours. We made it back to the car and drove our hungry selves to the High Country Pie Company one more time for 4 more savory pies. And then we headed the 4 hours home. Braids took these pictures on the way back as I drove. I enjoyed the last pie on the final hour and a half of the journey. Favorite moments of the trip?
My highlights for this trip were enjoying the luxury cookies and the Angel Kiss from Sassoul, visiting Cha House, time to relax and be together, climbing Elk Knob in the snow, skiing, a lot of real yummy food, reading Horatio Hornblower books together, visiting the Alpaca Fiber Store, and Cap very sweetly nursing my hurt shins.
And my high points were hiking the Elk Knob. I got to try out my new mittens, eating at the meat pie store twice, skiing for the first time in my life, the walk from Lovell House to downtown Boone multiple times together, the hike off the trail up the muddy incline behind Lovell House, going to 2 Goodwills to search for cheap pie plates, the Blue Deer ice cream sandwich, and shopping in downtown Boone and blowing rock shops. Would we do this again? You bet.